Hey everybody, it's your girl Nefarious, and today I'm going to walk you through how to sew the Judy crossbody. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do two different backs, but the Judy is really cute and fun. It's a nice little oval crossbody. It's got a slip pocket in the back, and you know it's plenty roomy on the inside. On the inside you can add some slip pockets or a zipper pocket, up to you, totally your creation. She measures about 10 inches tall, 8 inches wide, and about 2 inches in diameter. Just a quick reminder, when you're cutting out your panels, make sure you're using the exterior to cut your lining, because sometimes when they wash that lining, the artwork shrinks a little bit or gets a little funky. So just a quick reminder, usually you don't see anything, so you're fine. You don't see any of the white or anything. So let's go ahead, get started, and sew your Judy. Alright, general tools that I am going to be using include my awl, some double-sided tape. I've got multiple sizes here. I've got 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2 inch. I've got marking tools. I've got various ones. I've got a pair of snips. I've got an X-Acto knife. I've got a turning tool. I've got my lighter, just in case. A ruler. This is from Mormino. I've got my rivet guide. Got my hole punch. And I've got my clips, just in case. I kind of was like, I'm missing something here. These are my general tools that I'll be using throughout my video. So I'm going to be walking you through how to make the Judy crossbody. For the Judy crossbody, you're going to want your zipper gusset lining, your zipper gusset exteriors and your zipper gusset linings. Make sure you're using all of your exterior as templates, because sometimes the interiors can measure out a little funny after the washing. So you're going to need your zipper gussets. You're going to need your front and back exteriors with matching lining. You're going to need the zipper tape to go with your zipper gusset there. One zipper pull. Now, I'm going to show you how to do two versions of the back. So you're going to want two strap. You're going either one version is using two sets of strap connectors with webbing cutouts. And to D-rings, the webbing I have cut at 3 inches. The other version is just using one strap connector with a 3-inch webbing and two D-ring connectors with two 1-inch D-rings. So I will be showing you how to do those. So that's my spare back that I'm going to set over here. And then you're going to need your bottom gusset with a matching lining. And then you have an outer slip pocket with matching lining. For the outer slip, we are going to put right sides together, and we are going to clip that top together. And then we are going to set that to the side and save for the sewing machine. The bottom gusset I can set to the side for right now. Now, if you are doing the strap connector version only, you are going to slide your D-ring onto the webbing. You are going to find the center of the strap connector with the D-ring facing toward the right side of it, and then you are going to clip it together like this. And then you're going to put right sides together, and you're going to clip all the way around. You will repeat for both of the strap connectors. I don't know why I tossed that. And then you will set that to the side. If you are doing the D-ring version, you will set one D-ring through the webbing, center on the strap connector, have the opposing side right sides together, clip all the way around, and then for the D-rings, you will find the center draw a line. Then we will use some double-sided tape. Pull the backing off. Line your edges up to that line you just drew. I will use a clip to help secure. Repeat for the other side. And I will set that to the side. Then I will take my front panel and my front lining, finding my centers. Apparently I didn't find all my centers. Make sure you find all of your centers, please. And you're going to put wrong sides together, line those up, and then you're going to flip all the way around. Set that to the side and repeat. Ouch. Finally, you're going to want your zipper gusset, lining, and your zipper tape. As you can see, I do not have my pull on there yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some double-sided tape. It can be 1/8 or 1/4, and I'm going to line both the right side and wrong side of the zipper tape. I'm just going to choose one side, pull the paper off. Oops. Turn that again. I'm going to take one lining, put it right side to the wrong side of the zipper tape, lining up my centers, and then I'm going to press the edges together. And I'm going to repeat with the exterior piece as well. So let's talk about what I'm taking to the sewing machine. I am taking my prepped zipper gusset. I am taking my back clipped lining, my front clipped to the lining. Depending on which method you're using, you're either taking your strap connectors or your strap connector and your D-rings, and you're taking your slip pocket. I'm going to start with my strap connectors. If you're doing this version, I'm going to sew at 1/4 inch all the way around, and I'm going to backstitch really good at the beginning and the end. Afterwards, I'm going to snip the corners, making sure not to cut the threads. So you want to get close enough that you don't cut those threads. And then I'm going to set these to the side because I will be turning those right side out. If you are doing the D-ring version, I'm going to stitch these down at 1/4 inch seam allowance. Oops. Since I will not be seeing the ends, I'm going to backstitch really good at the beginning and the end. At this point, you can thread your D-rings on, match your ends up, and go ahead and give those a base stitch down so they don't go anywhere. you can set those to the side. Connector, we're going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around, back stitching really good at the beginning and the end. I'm going to snip the corners so they look nice when I turn it out. Make sure you do not cut your threads, and then set that to the side. You are going to stitch at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitch really good at the beginning and the end. Then you're going to turn where it's right sides out, clip to hold, finger press it down, clip to help hold in place, and then you're going to top stitch the seam, the top seam, and then you're going to baste the rest of it. Then set this to the side. On your zipper, you're going to stitch your zipper down at a 1/4 inch, back stitching really good at the beginning and the end. Then you're going to press the lining and the exterior out. Then you're going to want to match those ends up using clips. We are going to top stitch this all the way down, pivot, and then base stitch this closed so it doesn't move when we attach the rest of the gusset. We're going to repeat those exact same steps with the other zipper gusset. Go ahead and thread your zipper pull on. And then I like to go ahead and give my zipper ends a slight singe since they've been manhandled a little bit. Ouch. I'm going to set this to the side. Now I'm going to baste these two, the front and back lining together. Alrighty then. So what you're going to do is go ahead and grab your slip pocket and clean it up if you've got any kind of overhang. I grabbed just a tiny bit. Okay. And then do the same with all your other panels. If you've got a little bit of overhang, clean them up. Set to the side, bring your back. You want to line your back up, and you're going to clip these in place. Now, depending on which method you do here, as you can see, I didn't make a second slip pocket, but pretend it's there. All right. If you're going to do the connector version, where you have two connectors, you're going to want to find the center on those connectors. And then you're going to line those up with the centers on the top. And yes, you are going to have a little bit of overhang. That's okay. And then you're going to line up the center on the bottom. All right, so if you're doing the connector version, that's what this looks like. If you're doing the D-ring version, still find your center for the connector. This goes at the top. And then your D-rings, I'm going to line myself up here. You're going to place them about 3 inches up And then you're going to want to have this overhang about 1/2 inch, just like your webbing. You never want to have that sitting right on the edge. And then repeat 2, 3, 1/2 inch. Now from here, you're going to want to base stitch all the way around, securing your connectors. Now at this point, I will not be doing any more with this back panel. I just wanted to show you what it looked like with the D-rings and the top connector. I will just be finishing the bag with this. So from the center, 3 inches over, 1/2 inch overhang, and a top connector for the D-rings. So that one would be finished at this point. So for here, I'm going to take this to the machine and I will top stitch all the way around, but for now I will set that to the side as I pull my zipper gusset. If you haven't already, make sure you've attached your zipper pull. If you're doing 1, if you're doing 2, go ahead and add the second one. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your bottom gusset, you're going to put exterior right sides together and clip in place. You can do that for both sides. And then you're going to repeat with the lining. We're going to take this to the machine. We're going to sew it at 1/4 inch. And we're going to baste it all together so it doesn't move. So going to the machine, we're going to take our, well, we're going to take all our pieces, honestly, because we are at the point where you're going to be able to put the bag together. So I'm going to have my front panel, my back panel with all my attachments, my gusset ready to be built, and then I would go ahead and grab some 1/2 inch double wide binding because this is a bound bag. So I'll see you at the machine. I'm going to do the gusset first at 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitching really good at the beginning. Okay. Flip these together. I like to sew them with the exterior side on the inside. I'm going to press my seams together like so. Repeat on the other side. And now I'm just going to clip in place so it doesn't move. What'll be nice is while I'm basting, when I get up to the junction here, I'm going to pivot and then top stitch across the top here, across the zipper tape, and then I'll be able to pivot back down and continue my basting of the sides. I want my snips. So I'm going to clean up my sides a little bit. Then I'm going to line up my seams like them so they don't move. And then I'm going to find the center on the bottoms, both sides. And then I'm going to find the center on the top, both sides. Now you could also take it a little further if you wanted to and find the centers on the sides if you so choose. I'll do one side so you could see that. and then listen to me cuss on the other side. How's that? Okay. Because I went ahead and found the centers on the sides, I'll use my front panel as my one that I'll find the centers on the sides. So I'm going to line up my center points. I'm going to put a clip there to help hold that in place. And I'll find my centers on my sides really quick. So that's done. And then I'm going to take my back and I'm going to baste my connectors down. Oh, and my pocket. I gotta baste that pocket down. I guess it would also be mindful at this point to kind of think about what your machine can handle. Because at these points it will get thick. So I'm just gonna trim this up a little bit because that's gonna be problematic if I don't. So I've got my back lining, front lining, gusset. Let's do the front first. Yeah, do the front first. And I'm going to line up all of my landmarks. And clip to hold in place. Now you're going to want to take your time. I like to use a stiletto. I also like to pick a flat side to start on, but you can choose wherever. And I'm going to stitch this on at 1/8 of an inch. Trim my threads here. So as you can see, I went all the way around. It took my time. I'm not going to have any wrinkles. This is where you're going to be able to bind it. I'm going to start here. This looks good. And I'm just going to go all the way around. Then I'm going to attach the binding at 1/4 inch so it doesn't go anywhere. Alright, nice clean, went all the way around. Nice and clean, no holes. I'm going to give this a quick tug, make sure you don't see any of my thread. Very nice. Then we do the exact same thing with the back. So I'm going to line the center marks up because I only did 2 line marks on this one. Now, as you can see, that gets pretty thick, so please be mindful of what your machine can handle. If you gotta use like a, one of those, what are they called? Like a hump jumper? Cool. And then we repeat the exact same thing that we did on the other side. Just taking our time, making sure that we line all the stuff up, and we were sewing at 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to go around and baste it. Then I'm going to stitch this at 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So nice clean all the way around. Now being that this is waterproof canvas and vinyl, this, I mean, you could push it out as is. You can go right for it. I don't do that. I will heat it up with a heat gun or a hair dryer. I mean, that's going to soften it and make it easier for me. So that's what I'm going to do. So here is Judy, all turned out. And here is the back with the slip pocket. Now I wanted you to be able to see what she looked like with the D-rings. So here is a finished Judy with D-rings and a strap connector at the top. So there she is. I want to thank you for sewing along today as we made the Judy. She is quick, fun, and super easy to make. There's a couple parts where she gets a little thick, especially if you're doing specific types of connectors. I show you two different back panels depending on which way you want to go. I show you a regular strap connector, and I show you how to do D-rings. She does have a slip pocket, and her inside is fully customizable, completely up to you. I can't wait to see all of your Judys out in the wild, so make sure you're tagging K&A Custom Fabrics and, of course, your girl, me, Nefarious Magic Cat. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe because there's going to be so many more Nefarious videos coming. In case you also didn't know, Nefarious Stitches has taken on a new title. It has now become Nefarious Works. It decided I wanted to branch out to do more than just bags. So I am also becoming a pattern designer and coming out with my own website. So if you like to follow, make sure you're staying close and staying involved because that will be coming to you soon. So for now, ta-ta, and I'll see you around.